Hey there guys, welcome back to Magic with Mikey. Today we're going to be opening the Deadly Disguise precon for Murders of Karlov Manor. We opened up the Blame Game precon first, and I was rather surprised and pleasant with the reprints on it. I also think it's going to be a pretty good precon out of the box. I think a lot of these are probably pretty good out of the box. That being said, I do plan to have a gameplay video of all four of the precons going at it. And I'd like to try and film them in different varieties of Commander, such as Plains Chase or doing two-headed giant with them. Something interesting to try. But let me know if you would be interested in seeing other formats that we can use these decks in, or let me know if there is something that you want to see me use these decks in. Not even just these decks, but any kind of content that you want to see in general. I, for one, am a big fan of Commander, but I would like some variety in my videos. Like, instead of just a 4-player around the table, it's more, I guess, what do you call it? Achievement based, I guess, or role based. But we'll get into more of that later. So we'll start off by focusing a little bit, get a little more closer look at these cards. And then this will be the Disguise Precon. Hope you enjoy it. First up, Cast, Eyes of the Glade. 2-drop elf, and it's either red or white, and 1 green to play it. Whenever a creature you control that was turned face up this turn deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and you can tap it to target a face down creature attacking you control and turn it face up. I've been brewing an idea with this that I want to try taking dinosaurs and morphing them face up, that I call the Dino Morphin Power Rangers. At some point I'd like to play that and show you all if I can make that work. But yeah, Cast, something new for your morph disguise decks that you'll probably be seeing more of with this guy. And going off of Miss Nelly being the Fred of the Scooby-Doo gang out of these decks, this is Daphne in my opinion. Just because we're talking about disguising, and I think of like makeup and how that was always her gimmick. But yeah, alright. So Duskana the Rage Mother, new Bear Tribal Commander. So let me get a little bit, there we go. So 2 generic red, white, green. Whenever she enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control with base power and toughness 2/2. Whenever a creature you control with power, toughness 2/2 attacks, it gets 3/3 till the end of turn. Nice little side option for this deck, because all your stuff's going to be 2/2s anyway. Turns them into 5/5s, and you draw a card for each thing you have. So very cool. Or you can just go straight bears, which I think is a lot cooler. True Identity, 1 generic white. Whenever it or another permanent you control is turned face up, scry 1, draw a card. This ability triggers once per turn, and 1 white to disguise it. And then disguise, it puts it face down, and for 3, or no, okay, so first you can place it face down for 3 as a casting, or as a ability cost. It comes in as a 2/2 with Ward 2, and then you can pay 1 white to turn it face up. Pretty good little morph card for this deck, I would say. Or good little face down action, turn face up action going on. Unexplained Absence, probably one of the best new cards out of this batch of precons. So it's 3 and a white instant. For each player, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent they control. For each permanent exile this way, its controller checks the top card of their library or cloaks the top card of their library. A cloak card is put on the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature with ward 2, and you turn face up 8 times for its mana cost if it's a creature. So potentially you save yourself by getting rid of a very pesky card, and then potentially you give them something good for later, or screw them out of a enchantment, artifact, land, instant sorcery, anything like that. Pretty good. I'd like to run this and see how it does outside of the precons myself. Next we have Veiled Ascension. 2 and a white enchantment. Enters the battlefield. Put a flying counter on each face down creature you control. Face down creatures you control enter the battlefield with a flying counter on them. Being you upkeep, you may cloak the top card of your library. So another solid card that lets you keep disguising and cloaking and morphing, just so you can get that face down creature on the battlefield. And it gives them the additional flying counter, so even when they're turned face up, they'll have that. And that, for that morph dinosaur deck I was saying about, a flying Gishath is pretty terrifying, let alone anything flying on its own. Bolt Bender. 3 and a red. You can disguise it for 1 in red, or you can turn it face up from its disguise for 1 in a red. When he's turned face up, you may choose new targets for any number of other spells and or abilities. I want to say it's good. Until I play it, I don't really know myself how good it is, but leave a comment how you feel about this card. Show-stopping surprise. 3 and 2 red instant. Choose target creature you control. Turn face up. If it's face down, then it deals damage equal to its power to each other creature. This is a good little red board wipe in my opinion. And I'm probably going to run this in my Kresh commander deck. To sack, Judas Hellhound. 3 and a red. Element dog. Unleash. So enters the battlefield either 1/1 counter, or with a 1/1 counter, but it can't block as long as it's got that counter on it. Or as long as it has a 1/1 counter on it, which is a bigger difference. Other dogs you control have Unleash. Creatures you control with a counter on them have Haste. And whenever it attacks, add red for each tagged creature. So, could be a fun little mono red deck card, or you could throw it in a red deck, and it'd probably be fine. Yes, the upgraded version of Experiment 1, Experiment 12. 3 and a green to cast. It's a elf lizard warrior with trample. Whenever it or another creature's turn face up, put a 1/1 counter on that creature, equal to its power. Disguise for 4 and a green to turn it face up. Yeah, nothing. Once again, turning face up a Gishath and giving it an extra, I think 7 counters. Pretty decent. Print Lifter Ooze, 1 in green. A little ooze with Death Touch. Whenever it or another creature is turned face up, create a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. Creature enters the battlefield with X 1/1 counters on it, where X is the number of other creatures you control. And you can disguise it for 4. I like it. It's fun. Panoptic Projector, 4 generic artifact. Tap, turn face down creature you control, or the next face down creature spell you cast this turn costs 3 less to cast. So you can free cast your disguise, your morph, your manifest if you have something that does let you do that. If turning a face down permanent face up causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, triggers 1 more time. This I think is probably one of the cooler reprints out of this deck, and you could sub it into your Kadena Slinking Sorceress morph decks and get a lot of use out of it there too. Ransom Note. All of these decks have a Ransom Note, and this card is kinda trash, but I do enjoy the Surveil, and then you could goad something, cloak something, or draw a card, which for, I guess, a draft is good. And then Ugin's Mastery, enchantment, when a colorless creature you control, or whenever you cast a colorless creature spell, manifest the top card of your library. You attack with a creature, total power 6 or greater, you may turn a face down creature you control face up. Good way to cheat some cards up. Then you got Austere Command. 4 and 2 white, destroy either all artifacts, all enchantments, all creatures with mana value 3 or less, or all creatures mana value 4 or greater. And you can choose 2 of these. I like that it's been getting reprints, but I don't know. I don't use it a lot. I take it out of a lot of these decks, personally. Dusk and Dawn. Destroy all creatures with power 3 or greater. You can aftermath it for 5, 2, and 2 white and 3. Turn all creatures with power 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. I don't know myself how good this is going to be, but we'll find out. Exalted Angel, garbage morph card for me. It's got flying, whoever deals damage, you gain that much life, and you can morph it face up for 2 white and 2. Fell the Mighty, destroy all creatures with power greater than target creature's power. Pretty good if you've got a 2/2 morph manifest disguise card, and you just wipe everything that's not 2. Hidden Dragon Slayer, lifelink megamorph for 2 and white. So turn it face up and you get to put a 1/1 counter on it. When he's turned face up, destroy target creature power 4 or greater and opponent controls. Good little spot removal. Ah yes, Master of Pearls, morph for 3 and 2 white. Turn face up, all your creatures get 2/2 on the turn. So a white overrun without the trample, so a little bit worse, but still pretty good. Mastery of the Unseen, so you can keep getting your cards turned face down, or so you can keep playing cards face down. Whenever a permanent you control is turned face up, you gain 1 life for each creature you control, and then you can pay 3 and a white and manifest the top of your library. So this combined with your commander is a little bit stronger because you get life for turning your stuff that's attacking face up. But you get 1 life for all your creatures, which is pretty strong. And then, like I said, lets you keep morphing or manifesting stuff, so I like it. Something to keep your opponents off their, or, well, keep your opponents on their feet for this one, or on their toes, because they gotta constantly pick if they're gonna let something hit them or not. Mirror Entity, Changeling, gives everything XX, where X in all creature types, but you pay X, so you make all your 2/2s a 5/5 randomly, so that's pretty cool. Mirror Entity can fit a lot of things. Welcoming Vampire, flying, whenever 1 or more other creatures with 2 or less in your battlefield under your control, draw a card, triggers once each turn. Solid card for this deck because all your stuff's going to be 2/2s most of the time anyway. Achroma, Archangel Fury, can't be countered, flying, trample, protection from white and blue. Fire breathing, and then you can turn it face up for 3 and 3 red, and this is usually going to be my first pick to take out of this deck. It's cool, but I just don't see myself wanting to ever actually use this card. Ash Cloud Phoenix, flying, when it dies, return the battlefield face down under your control. 4 and 2 red, when it's turned face up, deal 2 to each player. Fun little way to keep burning people. Chaos Warp, good removal. Imperial Hellkite, random morph inclusion. The best reprint of this deck, Jessica's Will. Choose 1, if you control your commander, you get both effects. Or you can choose both effects. Add red for each card in target player's hand. Exile the top 3 of your library, you play them face down this turn. Or you may play them this turn. So, just a fun little option, but a really good reprint. And you have the Eternal, flick 3, and beginning your post-combat, add red for each 1 life your opponents have lost this turn. I've played against some really mean Neheb decks. I don't know how to build it. I don't want to build it, but it's definitely interesting to see. Scourge of the Throne, he's got Flying Dethrone, an extra combat if you attack somebody for the most life, so not bad. Beast Whisperer, cast a creature, draw a card, good reprint. Deathmist Raptor, when a permanent's turn face up, you return from your graveyard, the battlefield face up or face down. He's got Megamorph. Okay. Den Protector, this and another card in this deck can combo pretty good with Kamal from Commander Masters. But I'll go over that at some other point. Maybe in another video. Hooded Hydra, entry battlefield with X1/1 counters on it. When it dies, you make a 1/1 green snake for each 1/1 counter on it. And he morphs, so when you turn face up, you put 5 1/1 counters on him. So, could be a surprise army waiting to hit somebody. Corrosive Cloud Scraper. I just think this would be funny if you ever turn this up on somebody and they just take a 13/13. Your Corrosive Colossus, once again. A random 9/9 is fun. Obscuring Aether, your face down cards cost 1 less to cast, and you can turn it face down itself. Attacking creatures have Death Touch, and whenever whenever creature you control deals damage, combat damage, you draw a card. Turn of the Wild Speaker, draw a card equal to the greatest power among non-human creatures you control, or you get the Overrun ability with no trample, but that Overrun is still strong. Root Elemental, 5 and 2 green. Turn face up, put a creature from your hand on the battlefield. Decent morph card for this. I definitely like it out of a bunch of the options. Sereth the Viper's Fangs. Other tap creatures you control have Death Touch, so your attacking stuff will have Death Touch, and your untapped stuff will have Hexproof. And then you can untap target creature or land you control. Seedborn Muse, another good reprint. This deck definitely has some good spicy stuff in it. Untap all your permanents you control during each other player's untap step. Could be wild and nutty. Don't know about how good it is in this deck, but it is a good card though. Teamer War Shaman. He enters the battlefield, manifests the top card of your library, and whenever permanent you control is turn face up. If it's a creature, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. Turn face up, make some Saprolings with a Thelanite Hermit. Toski. I like Toski. Can't be countered, he's indestructible. And if he deals damage, you draw a card, so why not? Trail of Mystery for some ramp when you turn something face up, or when you play a card face down. And then anything face up gets 2/2 for the turn. Whisperwood Elemental. Keeps letting you manifest. This is the card that combos very well with your Den Protector, because there's a way to infinitely keep bringing him back with that Kamal. And I think it'd be cool to see that one time. Maybe in an upgrade video. Decimate, destroy target artifact, creature, enchantment, and land. Sadly, it's mandated, so you could end up destroying your stuff, but could be some spot removal for everybody else. Sidar Kondo lets those face down creatures with 2 or less power attack, or lets them get in their damage for most of the time, as long as your opponent's stuff without flying or reach is on the field, or as long as your opponent doesn't have anything with flying or reach, your stuff's hitting. Lifecrafter's Bestiary, good card draw. You get to scry, Scroll of Fate, more manifest stuff for free. And then look at these lands. I like these two. Village is good. The Snarl's great. I love the Game Trail. Keswick's good. Shrine's fun. Gotta love the temples. Then you get your paths. They give you Nature's Lore, which is big. Can't ever get enough of these for your green decks. 3 Visits, another very big reprint. I don't know why they gave this deck so much power, but it's awesome. And then this should just be your basic everyday lands. Yes. and your forest and your tokens. And then let's look at the back side, see what else we get. I like these manifest tokens, these are cool. Morphs are cool. The mysterious creature. That's fun. Alright guys, and then let's open up our booster. One from the Blame game was pretty good, so I'm hoping for at least a mythic out of here. Let's see, I think it's like that. Insidious Roots. Creatures you control. Oh, love this card. Your tokens can tap for any color. And if something leaves your graveyard, you make a plant token and put one count for each plant you control. That's cool. Lamplight Phoenix. Exile it, collect evidence, return it to the battlefield tapped. Kinda niche, but who knows, maybe it could see play somewhere else. Not for me though. But that was the disguise, or the, what is it called? Your Deadly Disguise precon. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what cards you would take in, or put in, take out, and like usual, leave a comment, a like, and let me know down below what else you'd like to see. Precons, gameplay, and I'll try to make it happen. Alright, later guys.